Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today we'll be creating this DIY sushi restaurant. It looks really cute and I really like eating sushi. It costed 599 pesos and this took me about 7 to 8 hours in total work time, but it was done over the course of a month because of my attention span, which I'm working on. So without further ado, let's get into day 1. Okay, so the first day, we just unpack it and I'm gonna be showing you what's inside the box first. We of course have the manual and some glass for exhibition. Different parts here that will be cut up later to be created into the smaller components like the sushi and other props. We also have a lot of sheets here that to add texture to the build. In the manual, there's a glossary for all the different parts we need. So if you ever are not sure with a part, you can refer back to this manual. And later on, it's the instructions on how to actually start building the diorama. So this actually took a really long time because it's really tedious compared to other builds I've done. With other builds I've made, usually the texture is already attached to the part itself. Like I don't have to cut out a piece of paper and glue it directly to the piece. It's already ready made, so that's why this one takes longer than I'm used to. Up to here, it's still pretty straightforward, and now I'm doing the roof. But I actually make a mistake here, not paying attention to the orientation of where to put the banners. This is actually the end of the first day of me working on it. I didn't have that much progress, but this I think took maybe a couple of hours for me in non-sped up time. Now let's head over to day 2. Okay, June 23, and I'm finally continuing this. And this is when I realized I didn't attach the banners correctly, so I have to redo it. I wanted to see if I had a live reaction to me realizing I put this on wrong, and this is what I heard.
It's great, it is. Look at Jaden. How is Jaden back? Ava. Who let this loser back?
Next, after fixing that, I can see there's a bit of white on the roof, which is kind of sad, but it's honestly not that bad. Like people don't really notice it when I showed it to them. No, they don't even mention it. Let's just say it's part of the design to make it look more rugged. And then I fixed the wiring for the lights before attaching other parts to make sure it's easy to hook up. And now I'm building the counter. It's pretty simple and straightforward here too. So far the only real problem I had was the not paying attention to the orientation, which is something I do every now and then if I'm trying to rush through it. But with this build, I think you should really take it slow. And speaking of taking it slow, we're now in day 3. We have some more cutting here. I believe this is when I start creating the smaller components. You can see how long it takes just to cut one piece, and then I have to fold it up and glue it together. Normally in other builds or DIY projects, they're just ready-made, so this is why it felt really tedious to me because I'm used to it just being like you just grab it and glue it into the scene. But for this, you really have to assemble each little part. And I actually used the wrong component here for this thing. It's this, but I end up fixing it later anyway because it looks similar to the actual cover of the jar. Next, here I'm measuring this wire because you have to cut it according to the size, and here it's at the back now. I alternated between recording for the YouTube short for this build and this long form video. So if there's some jumps between progress, that's the reason. But it's basically just me assembling the smaller parts. Here you can see I have to actually use a cutter. I think this is harder than the London cafe I made last time because I have to cut the actual sushi here, and in that other build I just had to cut the wire for some seats. But it's really satisfying to see a completed prop like this rice bowl. I'm not sure what the actual Japanese terminology is, but it looks like a rice bowl to me, or udon. I also made a mistake of cutting up all of the sushi because it's supposed to be only a certain length. Like I'm supposed to cut off 1 centimeter, for example, and then use the rest and cut it in a different manner, but it ended up working anyway. Okay, now we're in day 4 and it's already a completely different month from when I started it. But it's fine because better late than never, I guess. Now we're building a sushi boat. I've only eaten from a sushi boat once in my life, honestly. This one wasn't too hard. Like I think I was getting in the rhythm of making the smaller components. There's also this rope I had to untangle and then use as the pole for this boat. The tweezers are also super helpful for not getting your hands stuck with glue, which is a common problem I encounter. I'm not used to using tweezers that much, but it's really helpful for not getting your fingers glued up. And then we're doing the chairs, which is pretty simple. I just stack them upside down to let the glue dry. And day 5, okay. Day 5, I believe this is the last day. So here we're working on the battery. We just have this paper to hold it in place, and I just had to twist the exposed wire together and then stick it with some glue and paper, and also there's a provided sticker paper to keep the wires in place. This one took a while, honestly, because I was too impatient, which is the common theme in this video. I was too impatient and I was trying to test it out before it was fully glued in. And now we can finally put in the final parts. It's so satisfying to watch, slowly placing the completed small props together and to complete the scene. And there we have it. It's completed. Now I just need to add the casing, and it looks really cute. Like even if with the mistake I made on the roof with the wrong orientation, it looks pretty good. And as you can see here, it's a bit awkward for me to switch it on. Like I have to put my hand underneath to stabilize the switch, but it's completely fine. Like it's not that big a deal. Maybe if you guys can glue it better, maybe it wouldn't be that hard. But yeah, it looks super cute. I'm very happy with it, and I'm glad I had this little project to get myself to slow down a bit in life, because I'm usually very stimulated with social media or gaming. Just depends on the season, really. So yeah, this was really nice to build, even if I delayed it and only worked on it here and there. So yeah, overall I'm happy. And there it is. We're adding the display case. You actually have to make sure it's the right length, because some of these glass panels have a different measurement, so I made sure it's the correct one according to the manual. Because last time I had to remove the glass and place it back in the right place. It ended up having a lot of glue residue, so this is way better. I would say this is still harder than the other one though, harder than the London latte cafe thing. Sushi is one of my favorite foods. Japanese is one of my favorite cuisines, so I'm really glad I was able to finish this finally. And now I want to eat sushi. Final thoughts. Was it fun? It was, honestly, it felt kind of tedious at times, but also a bit fun at other times. But I think overall it was definitely worth it because I want to slow down more with my hobbies and get get myself away from my phone in my free time. The only problems I really encountered while making this is not paying attention to the orientation properly, or I've been rushing through the rules too much. I'd also try to practice more with using the tweezers because these pieces are extremely small and glue can easily get stuck on your fingers and carry away some small components if you're not careful. Would I recommend it? I think I would recommend it to anyone who is into DIY, but know that when you're getting into it, you're gonna have to be cutting all the textures and stuff, which took up a big chunk of build time. But if you want something quicker and more fast paced, I would recommend the Book Nook because for this one, you really have to spend a lot of time on the small components. Or if you want to challenge yourself and you don't mind the extra work of cutting up the textures and sticking them together, then yeah, go for it. I feel like this isn't that beginner friendly. I feel like a Book Nook would be way more beginner friendly. Like one of the ones from Cute Bee, I really like those. So if you like this build, this is from the same store I got the coffee shop build. So if you're interested in watching me build that, here's the link. Or maybe it's just YouTube's recommended link, or maybe I put both, I'm not sure. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.